Many people see failure as a sign that they aren't good enough. But for the world's most successful professionals, a setback is just a source of information, a lesson they use to build a more resilient strategy. We are going to walk through a 5-step recovery plan to help you do exactly that. By the end of this exercise, you will have a clear system to reframe your most recent mistake into an actionable roadmap. To begin, you will need a pen and a blank document. This will be your growth ledger. Before we start, I want you to recall one specific recent failure you are currently dealing with. By physically documenting this framework, you pull a nebulous emotional burden out of your head and turn it into actionable strategic data. Step 1 is to write a brief description of that recent setback at the top of your ledger page. Now, look at what you wrote and apply a strict linguistic rule. Cross out any sentence that begins with "I am." Watch how this changes your perspective. Instead of writing "I am a failure," you strike through those words and write "This attempt failed." If you failed an exam, it doesn't mean you lack intelligence. It means this specific attempt lacked the necessary preparation. This shift in language stops you from internalizing a temporary setback as a personality trait. By categorizing failure as an external event rather than a flaw in your identity, you preserve the mental clarity required to actually fix the problem. Step 2. Create a new section called the lesson. Feelings of frustration or embarrassment are a natural response to a mistake, but we cannot let them control the next decision. To override that emotional response, write down this specific prompt. What is this situation trying to teach me? This curiosity pivot forces your brain to shift into an analytical mode. It converts the pain of the setback into objective observations you can use for your next attempt. Step 3 is the audit. We are going to perform a clinical examination of the event to see exactly where the mechanics broke down. Use these 3 questions to guide your audit. First, was the fundamental strategy flawed from the start? Second, did the attempt fail because of a lack of preparation? Third, was critical information simply ignored? As you answer, focus strictly on the variables within your control. Blaming a bad market or an unlucky break might feel better, but it gives you zero leverage. You need to identify the specific actions you can change next time to ensure a different result. To help find your blind spots, write down the name of one trusted colleague or mentor you can ask for objective feedback. True responsibility is about isolating those levers of control. Once you know which ones to pull, the past mistake becomes a guide for future action. Step 4. Failure can damage your confidence if you let it, which is dangerous because confidence is the resource you need to try again. Create a section called The Shield. In this space, document 2 specific, difficult challenges you have successfully overcome in the past. Recalling these victories creates a psychological defense against self-doubt. It reminds your brain that you have developed the skills to overcome obstacles before. Making this a habit proves to yourself that one single mistake does not decide your future. You are building a mindset that expects to find a way forward. Step 5. Review your control analysis and synthesize everything you've learned into exactly one specific change for your next attempt. Circle that action item now. Focus on progress, not perfection. Trying to fix every flaw at once usually leads to overwhelm and another setback. Long-term success is an iterative process. It is built through multiple, slightly improved attempts rather than waiting for a perfect execution that may never happen. Look at your completed growth ledger. You've taken a heavy, nebulous feeling of failure and turned it into a structured set of instructions. You separated your identity from the results, you analyzed the data, you protected your confidence, and you mapped a targeted next move. This framework treats failure as a necessary feedback loop. Each mistake provides the specific data points needed to refine your strategy for the next attempt. Keep this document nearby. If you see a colleague struggling with a setback, share this process with them to help them hit reset. Every expert was once a beginner who refused to stop after a mistake. By leaning into the friction of a failure, you find the spark of motivation needed to come back stronger and smarter than before.